Toot your horns. Show your appreciation to these 24 drivers who have made the big dance. The main show. It's coal miner time. Back straight, you're looking a little bit empty at the moment, maybe because all of you are there on the infield. But 3 and 4, we weren't too happy with the lights and flashes along with the horns in turns number 1. What about using 3 and 4? Show your appreciation to our 24 starters in our coal miner. There we go. That's a lot better. And we'll get another shot at it again tomorrow. So it's time. Digging up 2 by 2 again. Look at this on the front straight. And you're a lot more excited here. There we go. A lot better attempt there from turns number 1. That's 2 laps that they got. We're going to give them another one. Let's start them like this. So the funny bit is... So let's try that again. So the funny business is complete. We've gone out 24. It is time now to dance here in Collie. $14,000. That's what our street stocks are competing for tonight. It's unprecedented for a one-night show. But the Collie Racing Drivers Association continue to raise the bar, try new ways, and bring the best the state has to offer here to our beautiful part of Western Australia. We'll go green next time by. Hayden Norman and Jack Yates will be your front row. Row number 2 is Lenny Bates and Michael Hammond. Row 3 is Cody Avens and Matthew Ivania. Peter Dowie and Paul Joss make up the 4th row. Your top 10 are rounded out by Jake Williams and Damon Thompson. Row 6 is Zane Humphreys and Paul Briggs. Row 7, Jack Barnwell, David Pudmore. The last of the automatic qualifiers, James Kempton, Daniel Amaturi. Then we got the B main winners, Gavin Minty, David Fall, Josh Martinelli, and Ben Norman, and the rest of our drivers. Collie, it's time to get ready to hit some pay dirt. The Coal Miner 51 here in Collie is green. A very ugly start from our top 2, and it's alleviated both Lenny Bates and Michael Hammond to first and second as Yates, along with Avens, so too as well Hayden Norman into the wall. The yellows will come on. It was an ever so ugly start. And we didn't expect it to come from our top 2. Jack Yates and Hayden Norman. You can count your lucky stars. As Avens will be the first. To come to the inquiry bay. They're going to check the rear end to see if the Watts linkage has come out. Greg Avens trying to tell Cody to do otherwise. the father of the 31. And it looks like Avens is going to listen. That's Rotten Luck out. Not even after completing a lap. So down now to 23. Can Norman and Yates do this one a little bit more cleaner? They're out. Take number 2. Norman, Yates, back to green. That time around, our top 2 stayed in positions number 1 and 2 as we get through turns number 1 and 2 cleanly this time around, except for David Thompson, who was up against the back straight concrete wall, but lap number 1 going to the man Dove Storm Norman. Probably what he'd be loving and wanting is just a weekend where he can complete the entire feature race. He's been in this position so many times, and yet something has failed. Last weekend it was a ball joint at the Perth Motorplex while leading that feature race. He was swimmingly in front, broke a left front tyre rod. And from there on in, it just hasn't gone the way of Storm and Norman at the moment though. He leads from Michael Hammond and Landy Bates. Jack Yates at the moment has dropped a few positions. Back to 4th position at the present stage. After starting on the front row, and this being his first ever real attempt at seeing Collie under racing action, doing a spindle job, holding off Peter Dowie, who's another driver you have to be impressed with. Dowie, who's had very limited seat time this season, racing up against some drivers who have done many laps around the Make Spake History Collie Speedway, like Joss and Briggs, along with Matt Ivanhoe, the 3-timer current Wingler Sprint State champion, holding on to 6th place. But we'll have a watch at Ben Norman's progression. After starting out of position number 20, he's already up 5 positions as the only driver really trying the top side. This is a freight train really chasing the bottom side of the racetrack at the moment. The only one who's really giving it the old gusto on the top side is Norman and now Jace Kempton, as Kempton tried to look to the outside of Jack Barnwell. That's fighting for 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th place at the present stage. One car about to go a lap down. That'll be Tristan Stroit. All is lonesome at the back of the bus, as after that first initial start, we'll have ourselves a stoppage, and it'll be Jake Williams who will spin out while running in position number 10. So there's the yellows for Jake Williams. And it comes for Jake Williams. Daniel Amajuri goes straight to the inquiry bay. Ben Norman just done the quickest lap of the race on lap number 6. The lap we go back to is time at 20.866. Saw him already separate by over 2 seconds to Michael Hammond. And you'll see something interesting go on here as well. This is what we call a Delaware double file restart. The idea of this is the leader will start all on his lonesome at the front. From there on in, they'll be starting side by side. Second place will get the choice of either the top or the bottom side of the racetrack. From there on in, they'll fall in double Indian file. They'll go green when Norman strikes the track. With 23 cars still out on track. Looks like Jake Williams will get his spot back. If it is to be, he should be in position number 9. And he won't, he'll go back. Just lining them up, making sure they're in their correct positions. So try it. It's still 45 laps to run. Jake Williams will go to the back, so it should be Hayden Norman, Mick Hammond, Lenny Baines, Jack Yates, Peter Dow, Matthew Ivanhoe, Paul Joss, Paul Briggs, Zane Humphries and Jack Barnwell. Your top 10. Chase Kempton will be 11th, 12th Gavin Minty, 13th is now Ben Norman, so he's up 7 positions. David Fall is 14th, Daniel Amajuri 15th, Damon Thompson, Shane Wild, David Padmore, Josh Martinelli, Lucas Fry, Philip Likler, Tristan Stroit, Jake Williams. So we got 2 rows sorted. Now it's just the rest to follow suit. Paul Joss needs to go to the outside of Matthew Arvin. It's Daniel Amajuri. Looks like he's going to call it quits and pull to the infield. So we're now down to 22 cars remaining. Six complete. Going green this time by 45 laps remaining in the coal miner 51. Just get set to hit it back to green. We're underway. Still have a competition caution midway through this event. As Norman getting a great start. So too as well is the younger of the Normans, who looks to the outside of Jack Barnwell, trying to get inside the top 10. As elder brother Hayden Norman storms away. Ben Norman now up to 11th position. Great restart as Zane Humphries gets spat out. He'll go back 2 positions, allowing Ben now to be up to 10th place. Jace Kempton as well following through. But with 8 laps complete, it's Norman Bates now up to 2nd place. And so too a great restart for Peter Dowie. The 88 out of Geraldton up to 4th place. An epic run so far as the top side is now starting to come to work for Kempton and Ben Norman. Kempton to the outside of O'Neill for Norman. He got to the top side of Briggs. Now he sets himself on Ivanhoe for 8th position. Great run from 20th, already up 2 positions. A hell of a job. It's one car slowing along the back straight. That's Gavin Minty in car number 3, and the yellows will come on. Yellows will come on with 9 laps complete. And it's Gavin Minty who comes to a slow. A flat left front tire for car number 3. He comes straight to the crew. And it's now time to go to work. See how quickly all the crews come to help out Gavin Minty as he changes that left front tyre. He will go to the tail of the field for having to change the tyre. But we won't lose a car out of it. That is the bonus part out of this all. Yes, it does cause a restart, but we do not lose a car. So cars are near on ready to roll once we go back to green. It'll be Hayden Norman, Lenny Bates, Michael Hammond, 1, 2 and 3. Fourth place is Peter Dowie. Jack Yates back to fifth place. 6 is Paul Joss. 7th is Jace Kempton. From 16th to 7th for Kempton, that's 9 positions. Matthew Avenir is 8th. 11th position pickup at the moment for Ben Norman. He's 9th. 10th is Paul Briggs. Jack Barnwell 11th. Dane Humphries 12th. David Padmore's 13th. 14th is David Fall. Gavin Minty was 15th when he lost that tyre. And in fact, he'll go to the infield. So a non-start for Gavin Minty after taking that time to try and change that wheel. And in the end, only means that they will pull it to the infield. 42 remaining. We're not even up to the 40 lapper yet. 11 more laps than what these drivers completed in the national final last weekend. Well, we can't say that the 6th machine was able to complete them all, but he leads them here. Lights will go out. Norman, Bates, Hammond, 1, 2 and 3. We're back to green. The former Victorian. Oh, we've got cars all out of shape. Paul Briggs has hit the wall. Peter Dowie has come to a stop, and that is rotten luck for Peter Dowie, who had a great run going. Paul Briggs very quickly. To the work bay. Peter Dowie, I would have to say, is done. Oh, how about the front end? Of Damon Thompson. They're flicking panels off left, right and centre. Off the Thompson Auto Parts. Car number 10. David Padmore's also come. To the attention of the inquiry bay. Will he get the thumbs up and be able to continue on? Answer to that one is yes. So we've lost Gavin Minty, Cody Avens, Peter Dowie. And Daniel Amajuri. Not too sure the story about Amajuri, but being pushed off. It's not a great scene. So we'll try a second time. I'm trying to complete lap number 10. Let's try and see what Norman can raffle up off this restart. Oh, there was the lights that went yellow. They've gone to green. We do get through the front straight, which I thought was going to be a nasty sight for sore eyes as Jack Barnwell turns the car around the 16th, all out of noise. So it's not a happy return for the Ridgestone Count Gourley holder Commodore. The place where he won a state title. In fact, it's going to end on the infield. They try and level themselves out. The top three have been light years ahead. Matthew Ivanhoe has got the kickstart he needed with that restart. He's now challenging Paul Joss for fourth place with Jack Yates and Jace Kempton all within closing distance. And in fact, Ben Norman starting to fall through the gaps as he gets on the inside of Paul Briggs. Briggs getting the better for eighth place on Ben Norman, who's now come to a stop on his charge and quest to catch up to the older brother. After 12 laps at the moment, it's Norman Bates, Michael Hammond, 1, 2, and 3. The top three have darted away from Paul Joss, Matthew Ivanhoe, Jake Yates, and Jace Kempton. Kempton's in 7th place, but right behind them is Paul Joss in 8th, David Padmore in 9th, and Ben Norman. In fact, Norman now back past Padmore, then it's Fall, Thompson, Wild, Phil Lykelet from 23rd is up to 14th. Zane Humphries, Jake Williams, Lucas Fry, Josh Martinelli. The last car on track is Tristan Stroit running in 19th position. Norman has cleared out to over 2 seconds. There's all eyes on this battle for second, third, and now you may as well include Paul Joss in 4th place, as he's really reeled in the leaders of Bates and Hammond. In fact, Hammond could be under some duress at the moment as he was out of shape out of turn number 2. It is now Joss who's under attack from Ivanhoe, Kempton and Jack Yates, all to really close in. As we finally feel like we got a bit of a rhythm going into this one. So there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. As David Fall looks like he was out of noise. I think there may be a flat tyre on car 10. See, slows through the field. This will bring on the yellows. So I was just saying we're on to a rhythm. That rhythm is done. And we'll have ourselves a restart for the 10 machine, who's running up after 16 laps. Did hear a bit of a bang come through that one. It may have been from David Fall. We'll see if the team go to work on a flat tyre for the 10. Actually looks like it's been hit on the Ben Dottie Avocado car 10. So we get the camera work onto what they're going to about to do on the right rear. In fact, the left rear. So he's joined by his fellow Manjum Up counterpart, Shane Wild. Well, just getting the thumbs up from Darren Johnson. And we'll see how Manjum Up do it with a flat tyre. Shane Wild just slowing along the back straight for the leaders to get past. Wild in 11th place at the moment, behind Damon Thompson. As David Fall be able to rejoin to leave us still with 19 cars remaining in the coal miner 51. Oh, Ben Norman now comes in. And there's some steam billowing out of the 66. Almost feels like a Friends episode. Is that called quits for Norman? I think it will be. He'll take the fabled right turn to leave us with 18 cars. Left to run. And 35 still remaining. Norman, Bates, Hammond, your 3. Paul Joss is 4th, 5th place, Matthew Avenel. Then it's Jace Kempton in 6th. 7th place is Jack Yates. Paul Briggs is 8th. 9th place will now be Damon Thompson, and Shane Wild rounds out your 10. From there it's Padmore, Williams, Humphrey, Lykelet, Fry, Martinelli, Stroit, and David Fall, who, due to changing that left front tyre, is at the back. We'll see what he can do from the tail. So we go back to green with 35 remaining. Here comes Hammond. What a restart from the two-time former national champion. Found the top side that time around. That it's finally started to work for him while persisting with the bottom side on Lenny Bates. Finally, Hammond got the upper hand, and this time it's to challenge your race leader, who's led the opening 17 without a stress. Hammond right on the back bumper of your 6 machine of Hayden Norman. 18 complete, and it's a race in 2 now, as Lenny Bates will have to negotiate Paul Joss and Jace Kempton, who's on the inside of Matthew Arvanier. Great move from the 55 to get into position number 5 after a horrible weekend last weekend. Every position is just a spot of improvement for Kempton. Hammond, though, has just backed off a little from the back bumper of Hayden Norman. Is there smoke now starting to show? Is that a sign of distress for Hayden Norman? Or is that just giving him 10 tenths in tonight's main event? With 20 laps completed, it's Norman, Hammond, Lenny Bates, top 3. 4th place is Paul Joss from Jace Kempton, Matthew Arvanier, Damon Thompson 7th. 8th place is David Padmore, then it's Paul Briggs and Shane Wild. 11th place is Jake Williams from St. Humphreys. 13th is Lucas Fry from Josh Martinelli, Phil Lykelet, David Fall and Tristan Stroit. 17th is Jack Yates has pulled to the infield. Car number 15. It's only the one Northern Territory left in tonight's feature race, and we're getting close to that ever needed break for fuel. Is it going to happen at the right time for Hayden Norman, where it can cool off, or is it Hammond's time to shine? 23 completed, and it's all about the top 2 again. Oh, I feel like it's deja vu from last weekend, where 2 drivers went at it neck and neck. Right now it's 2 of West Australia's best. Norman holding on from Hammond. A long way back is Lenny Bates, Paul Joss and Chase Kempton, who rounds out your top 5 nevertheless from these drivers. It's big payday coming up if they can hang on. This time by will be halfway complete. 25 down and 26 remaining in the coal minor 51. The yellow flag will come out shortly for a competition caution. Or will we stay green? We'll have to see what our chief steward Bog Imbrim says. As Hammond, is he off the pace? He started to slow down as the yellows have come on. Did the yellows come on at a mysterious time for Michael Hammond? It goes very quickly to the infield. So half distance completed. We got up to 25, so restarted with 26 laps remaining. And this is when we make the call. Is it just going to be fuel? Will someone run the gauntlet, or has someone got a flat tyre that they were hampered with from the opening 25 laps? Go and have a wander. Josh Davies is a madman last week, trying to get this event completed. He's actually got a smile on his face, which is surprising. Is it a smile of happiness or just a smile of emotion? That happens. We'll go sleep drunk. The attempt of trying to get out here with a microphone did not work, as we only got this far and it stopped. Let's try this one. There we go. We got a little bit. We'll see how far we can get before it stops. Turn it on. We've got nothing. No, we do. There we go. We'll try and keep talking and just wait to see if it dropped out or not. Enormous weekend. It's already